What's going on, Lego Maniacs? It's Ty, the Lego guy here, and welcome to another episode of the Blast from the Past catalog series. Today we're actually taking a look at the January 2013 catalog. Believe it or not, this is almost 10 years old as of 2022, and as you can see, it has some very memorable themes, such as Chima. You may hate them, you may love them, but they definitely were something different in the Lego universe. Anyways, this one should get interesting. It has this theme along with a bunch of other really good ones. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to start us off, we'll begin by giving you guys a little bit more view of the front cover. It's a very interesting looking crocodile. Chima wasn't my favorite theme, but I will definitely say that this is interesting looking with the lions, the crocodiles, and the bird people. I don't know anything about the lore, so don't fault me. Right here you'll notice they have a little exclusive if you spent $75 or more, and I actually quite like that little crystal. Getting into the inside of the catalog, it's a little bit more into Chima, better view of that crocodile, and then again it shows off that little exclusive. But if you'll notice in the right, it has all the different themes: the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Lego City, Lego Friends, Lego Creator, Galaxy Squad, Lego Star Wars. This actually has a lot of classic themes that were kind of being remade at around this time. Getting a little bit more into Chima, they have some of the other vehicles. Again, they just look so wonky. I will say that the builds are actually not all that bad. It's just the minifigures that really kind of throw me off. Like, what is that, a wolf? I don't even know. I'm probably tilting a bunch of Chima fans in the comments, or people that are watching this video. Let me know what you think about Chima, if you like it or if you don't. This I'm not too keen on, this line looking vehicle, but I guess they mirror their vehicles off of what they look like, so that makes sense. Moving on, we have some more Chima sets. Yeah, I always thought this bird looking vehicle was actually kind of cool. This I'm not a fan of. I guess this is the, the Razor Chai Raider. Interesting theme regardless. Man, they got a lot of Chima stuff. They have the Speedors. I remember actually, I think it was these sets that got a lot of hate, if I remember correctly. And then just some more Chima stuff. So now moving on out of the theme, we've made our way into Turtle Power. This was very unique. I actually wish I bought some of these sets back in the day. It's just a very different looking theme. It's something I don't think they'll ever do again, but I'm actually happy that they did do it. Add some diversity to the Lego universe. And then here we have some of the Lego City sets. We're not going to center in on these too long. I mean, they haven't really changed in years. You could throw these city sets out nowadays and no one would bat an eye at it. Lego City is probably one of those themes that really, it's not bad, but they make a lot of the same sets again and again. Like, just take a look at that. I believe there is a set like that they have nowadays that looks very similar to this. I don't mind this though. This is a little bit different. It's kind of like a Crook's hideout. And this actually reminds me of Back to the Future. For that reason, I'd actually like to buy this. The City Museum, the clock tower where they're trying to, well, anyways, if you've seen Back to the Future, you know what I'm talking about. And then we have some of the Friends sets. We're not going to center in on this too long just because I'm not too much of a fan of it, but I understand why it exists. That's actually a cool looking little build though. Like, I will say that about Friends, they actually have some interesting looking sets. The Summer Riding Camp. I actually like their houseboat quite a bit that they recently brought out. And then here we have some of the 3-in-1 building sets. That jet's actually pretty cool looking. I always like it when they make these little houses, the small cottage. I think that it's it's a really cheap way of getting kind of a cheap modular type looking build. You can also, mix and match it or make these two other builds. And then moving on. Oh buddy, we made our way into Swing into Action. So the Spider-Man sets. These are actually pretty cool looking. This is actually a Daily Bugle, I believe, or the DBC. Yeah, Daily Bugle Showdown. So this is the cheap version of the Daily Bugle. You could buy this one back in the day for 60 Canadian. I believe that's probably like 45 US. cheap way to get the set. I didn't actually know they did that. That's actually really cool. And now we've made our way into some of the Defend Gotham City sets. This one's very basic. It almost reminds me of a 4+ set. That is a poorly done job of the tumbler. But I actually do quite like Gotham, or the Arkham Asylum. That actually looks quite good. Really reminds me of the Arkham City or Arkham games. Look at all the minifigures. That's one thing that's really great about Marvel and DC is they give you a ton of minifigures. Here we have all aboard the Horizon Express, another train set. This is actually, oh, it's not too expensive, cheaper than I thought. Train theme has literally existed for years. And then we have, oh, I actually always wanted this biplane. That's actually a really cool looking build. And then we also have the Volkswagen camper van. This set was out for years. Like, they just recently retired it, maybe like a year ago. It shows how long some of these kind of like creator expert sets can last. And here we have Monster Fighters. This is the OG Hidden Side. So if you guys like Hidden Side, you probably would like this theme. Or if you actually, a lot of you guys actually knew about this theme before and then you liked Hidden Side because it is so similar. That's the only set though they actually show off. That's kind of unfortunate. They had some other interesting sets. Basically it was all around hunting monsters. And then here we have some of the modular sets. Now this was right before I started getting into them, and I kick myself a lot for not buying some of these sets. Like here we have the pet shop. We also have the town hall. This is actually a really gorgeous looking set. Really, really like this one. And then this is one of those jewel sets, the Grand Emporium. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. That actually reminds me of the cinema quite a bit. I always wanted this set. They're worth so much money nowadays. If you guys are on the fence about buying a modular set and you know it's about to retire, just buy it if you like that theme because they just appreciate so much. Then right here we have, okay, look at this, Series 9. That is crazy. I actually really like the Judge, the British looking Judge. That was actually a really good looking minifigure in the top left corner. They had a couple other good ones from that time. I really wish I would have got the Waiter right here. And then there again is that exclusive. Okay, Fight the Aliens. This is fantastic. I believe this is Galaxy Squad. And yeah, it was kind of like Space Returning. I didn't mind these sets. I didn't really like them quite as much as the original Space sets, but I think that it was a decent remake. Love the fact that they're capturing them in capsules and stuff like that. They did that a lot in the earlier Space sets. It actually kind of reminds me of Space Police, except these aliens they're probably not just throwing them in prison, they're probably doing other things to them. Really cool looking little fighter. Like, I just absolutely love space, and this is a decent representation of the theme. Moving on, we have some of the architecture sets. This set is worth a ton on the aftermarket if you guys want to check out this set. I think it's around 8 times its value of what it was worth, you know, when it was on shelves. Really cool looking theme. I wish I actually bought some of these back in the day. Sydney Opera House. Again, they're not all that much money and they appreciate a ton. If you guys watching the investment videos, the architecture line or the modular line are very strong themes to invest in. And here we've come to a Ninjago. It's kind of crazy to see how long they've been around and how many mechs they've made. Like, I'd really like to actually find out how many mechs Ninjago has come up with because there's been lots. I actually don't mind the build of this. It really gives me kind of like Japanese samurai vibes. And then moving on, we've come to realistic advanced buildings. So in case you guys are waiting for Star Wars is in this catalog. I did take a little bit of a look before I got into it, and Star Wars is at the back. Got some interesting Technic sets. And I believe it's the next page. Okay, not yet. Okay, we have the 2-in-1 models, some more Technic sets. This is actually interesting. It's a remote control Technic 4x4 crawler. You don't see Lego do too much. They do some stuff like this, but I think that's kind of cool. You can motorize it and do all that good stuff with. It's not just trains that they have. They have other things that kind of are robotic, or remote control, I should say. Then we have kind of the return of Bionicle under Hero Factory. This sold terribly. I didn't get into it as well. I mean, I don't mind Bionicle, but these were just kind of like crappy versions of Bionicle in my opinion. If you liked it, nothing against you, but it just really wasn't my thing, and it wasn't around for all that long. Oh, they also have some of the Hobbit sets in this. This is one of the best Hobbit sets ever, An Unexpected Gathering. I own this one. It's one of my all-time favorites. And here we have the Attack of the Wargs. I wish I bought more of these sets. They're going for quite a bit nowadays. The Goblin King battle. Just awesome. I actually own this one and this one. I wish I owned the other, what is that, 3 or 4 models, but you can't own it all. You only have so much money too, right? And now we've made our way into some of the, okay, Clone Wars. For those of you who love Clone Wars, here it is. This set, Captain Rex Phase 2, going for a crazy amount of money on the aftermarket. I believe this minifigure is worth at least 100 US, which is ridiculous. Here we have the OG 501st Clone Trooper, the Z95 Headhunter. That was a fantastic set. I do own this one. This Pong Krell minifig is actually pretty good. And we have the Embarian MHC Mobile Heavy Cannon. Really wish I would have picked this one up. A lot of these sets I actually didn't. I own both these. These were actually pretty good battle packs, although this one gets a lot of hate because the Droidekas are just, they're kind of terrible. But regardless, this is actually a great wave of Star Wars. Then moving on, we have, oh, for those of you, Hoth is kind of coming back with the UCS AT-AT. Here's the Battle of Hoth. It's kind of like a micro scale Battle of Hoth, but, you know, still kind of cool. Just, you know, very small to what it is, right? It's like a small version of the Assault on Hoth. Then we have Jabba's Palace. This is one of the best sets made by Lego, and unfortunately, it did look a little bit like a mosque, so it wasn't out all that long. Really wish I owned this set, but hopefully we get a remake of this set soon. There's kind of a rumor running around with the Book of Boba Fett. We're going to get a new Jabba's Palace. Then we have the Rancor Pit. Both these sets are worth a ton nowadays. I actually do own this one, fortunately. And this Rancor Big Fig is actually really, really cool. Decent looking A-Wing. I think I actually bought that set as well. Look at this. They have the, I'm surprised to see that the UCS Super Star Destroyer was still available in 2013. That's kind of crazy. And then they also had the, basically the Dollhouse Death Star, the original UCS R2-D2, and the UCS B-Wing. Oh man, so many good sets. I never did get a chance. I did get a chance to get this one, the UCS Super Star Destroyer, but not the Death Star, the R2, or the B-Wing. And then on the back, they just actually show off the Arkham Asylum a little bit more. Just gonna cover up my address, show you guys what's going on there. But yeah, that pretty well does the catalog. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Maybe what your favorite set or theme are in it. Always interested to hear your guys' thoughts. Again, for myself, I really like the modular line, the Star Wars line, and some of the superhero sets are actually pretty cool as well. I mean, it's just interesting to take a look at what they were doing back in the day. Even the Galaxy Squad theme was actually pretty cool. But yeah, that pretty well does this episode of The Blast from the Past. If you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future older catalogs we take a look at. I always love going back and seeing what Lego was doing back in the day. Some of the things were good, some of the things were bad, but anyways, it's just really interesting if you're a Lego fan. But yeah, that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.